It's Alex's first day at the prestigious university. He walks in quietly, dressed in simple clothes, nothing flashy, just a plain shirt and well-worn shoes. He takes a seat at the back, drawing subtle glances from students around him. Whispers begin. Who's he? Looks like he doesn't belong here. Moments later, Miss Sophia strides in, poised, confident, and known for her sharp tongue. Her eyes scan the room, pausing at Alex. She raises a brow, then smirks slightly. Without greeting the class, she taps her pen against the whiteboard. You, she points at Alex. Since you've joined our elite class, why don't you show us your brilliance? Solve this equation. Alex, nervous and unprepared, slowly walks to the board. He stares at the complex math question, hand trembling. The room grows silent, tension thick in the air. After a few seconds of hesitation, he makes a mistake. Sophia crosses her arms. With a smug tone, she says, "This is the standard here. If you can't even solve this, maybe you're in the wrong place." The class laughs quietly. She walks closer and adds, "Honestly, you look poor. How did you even get admitted here? Was it some kind of donation seat?" Alex's face flushes, his eyes fall, and without a word, he returns to his seat, humiliated. The next day, students gather near the university entrance, jaws dropping as a sleek Rolls-Royce pulls up. The door opens, and out steps Alex, confident, composed, dressed in a tailored suit. The driver respectfully nods to him as he walks toward the building. Inside the classroom, whispers grow louder. Miss Sophia's eyes widen in disbelief when she sees him. "Good morning," Alex says calmly, taking his seat. Sophia fumbles, trying to cover her embarrassment. She calls him to the board again. This time, he solves an even harder problem in seconds. Turning to the class, he says gently, "Yesterday, I was poor to you. Today, I'm rich, but I haven't changed. Maybe what needs to change is how you see people." The room goes silent. Sophia lowers her gaze, her arrogance shaken. Alex walks back to his seat with quiet dignity. The next day, the university campus buzzes with excitement. Students are gathered around the parking area, phones out, eyes wide with curiosity. A sleek, black Rolls-Royce glides smoothly through the university gates, its polished exterior gleaming under the morning sun. It comes to a stop in front of the main building, drawing even more attention. The driver, dressed in a crisp uniform, quickly steps out and walks around to open the rear door. A hush falls over the crowd as Alex steps out, but he's unrecognizable. Gone are the simple clothes and worn-out backpack. Today, Alex is dressed in a perfectly tailored navy blue suit, leather shoes shining, and a quiet confidence in his posture that turns heads instantly. He adjusts his cuffs slightly, offers a polite nod to the driver, and walks toward the building with grace and poise. The murmurs grow louder. "Wait, is that the same guy from yesterday? No way, that's Alex." Students look on in disbelief, nudging one another, trying to make sense of the transformation. From a distance, Miss Sophia arrives, clipboard in hand, expecting another routine day. But when her eyes fall on Alex walking through the crowd like royalty, her steps slow. She stops in her tracks, her jaw slightly dropping. For a moment, she doesn't blink, just stares, stunned, confused, and undeniably shaken. The whispers around her only amplify the tension. She watches as Alex walks past without even glancing her way, his aura dignified, his silence louder than any words. Suddenly, the screen transitions into a flashback montage. Alex sitting in a lavish office beside a tall man in a designer suit, revealed to be his father, the CEO of a globally renowned tech company. Another clip shows Alex in a boardroom, casually giving insights during a high-level meeting. His lifestyle is one of luxury and influence, yet it's clear he's humble, grounded. A voiceover plays in Alex's voice. I dressed simply, not because I had no choice, but because I wanted to see how people would treat me when they thought I had nothing. The flashback ends as Alex steps into the classroom, his presence now commanding silence, not because of wealth, but the realization of how wrong everyone had been. Miss Sophia stands outside, still frozen in disbelief, her confident demeanor beginning to crack. What was once a quiet boy in simple clothes is now the embodiment of grace, wealth, and power, without a single word spoken. Inside the classroom, the atmosphere is completely different from the day before. The same students who once mocked Alex now sit in stiff silence, sneaking glances at him from the corners of their eyes. Alex enters calmly, taking his seat in the same spot, but now every eye is on him, not with ridicule, but curiosity and awe. Miss Sophia walks in moments later, noticeably more composed and cautious. Her eyes meet Alex's, and this time, there's no smirk, no arrogance. Instead, there's hesitation. She walks to the board slowly, marker in hand, then turns to face the class. Clearing her throat, she forces a polite smile. Alex, she says softly, her tone dramatically different from before. Would you like to try solving today's problem? Her voice lacks the usual edge. This is no longer a command, but almost a request. Alex rises from his chair, the same quiet grace in his movements, but now with a calm confidence. He walks to the board and takes the marker. The problem is visibly more advanced than yesterday's, filled with complicated functions and variables. Without hesitation, Alex begins solving it, his hand moving swiftly and decisively. Within seconds, the solution is complete, flawless. He steps back, looks at the board, and then turns around slowly to face the class. His voice is calm, but carries weight. Yesterday, he begins, I was poor to you. A pause. The room is dead silent. Today, I'm rich, but I haven't changed. I'm still the same person who walked into this room with a worn-out bag and simple clothes. His eyes move across the room, locking briefly with Miss Sophia's. Your respect, he says, should never depend on someone's clothes or the car they come in. Because those things can change in a day, but how you treat people, that shows who you really are. The silence hangs for a beat. Then, slowly, a few students begin to clap. It's hesitant at first, but soon more hands join in. A soft round of applause fills the room. Not everyone claps, but the message has landed. Miss Sophia lowers her gaze, lips pressed tightly together, her face a mixture of embarrassment and reflection. Alex walks back to his seat, his head held high, not out of pride, but quiet dignity. The next day, the atmosphere in the university feels tense. Miss Sophia is summoned to the principal's office. She walks in, her heels clicking on the floor, but there's a noticeable unease in her steps today. The principal, a middle-aged man with a no-nonsense demeanor, looks up from his desk. His face is unreadable, but the tension is palpable. Miss Sophia, he begins, a formal complaint has been filed. He pauses, letting the words sink in before continuing. It's from Alex's father. He's the CEO of a global tech company, and he wasn't pleased with the way his son was treated. Sophia's expression falters for a moment, but she quickly regains composure, standing straight. I didn't mean any harm. I was only trying to challenge him, to see how he would react. Her words are defensive, but they lack the usual conviction. She knows, deep down, that her actions were wrong. It's a mistake, she adds quietly, her pride visibly shaken. The principal doesn't respond immediately, his eyes focused on a document in front of him. I'll look into it, he says, his tone cool, before dismissing her with a wave of his hand. Sophia leaves the office, her mind swirling with thoughts of Alex, the complaint, and her own role in what happened. As she walks through the halls, she finds herself slowing down when she sees Alex again. This time, he's in the hallway near the janitor's closet, bending down to help the janitor, an elderly man, lift a stack of heavy books. Alex's simple act of kindness stands in stark contrast to the proud, distant persona she had placed him in just a day ago. He doesn't need to help, but he does so with a gentle smile and no expectation of recognition. Sophia watches him for a moment, feeling a pang of regret. The final scene unfolds as Sophia stands by the window of her classroom, looking out at the university grounds. The camera focuses on Alex as he walks confidently through campus, his posture relaxed, but his aura radiating calm strength. He smiles and greets a few students who walk past him, still humble, still the same person. Sophia's, her tone somber, filled with introspection. Sophia, that day, I didn't just misjudge a student, I failed as a teacher. The closing text appears. Respect has nothing to do with status. Humility is the real class.